Welcome into the 2017 NBA Draft Lottery. We have a huge offseason ahead of us that includes the deepest pool of free agents since the league started and a brand new two-round NBA draft. But everything starts tonight with the highly anticipated draft lottery. The hopes of six franchises hang in the balance, so let's just get right to it. The team with the best odds tonight are the Cleveland Cavaliers, who will have a 30% opportunity at the top pick. Cleveland has had a 14% win percentage since the league started a few years ago, which amounts to just 8 wins. Now, granted, the Cavs immediately made the decision to get younger and build through the draft and have used a bevy of first round picks on players like Justice Winslow, Stanley Johnson, Devin Booker, Cameron Payne, Brandon Ingram, and Jacob Porto last year, but have yet to make the playoffs. I still think it's going to take a few pieces for them to turn things around this year, but there's clearly stuff to work with. Another high pick could go a long way for this franchise. In the two hole, we have the Toronto Raptors, once known as the New York Knicks. The franchise in total has won 26% of their matchups, which comes out to 15 wins. They've used first round picks on Jahlil Okafor and Dragan Bender, but have yet to make the playoffs. I think overall this team has a good enough roster to where they're maybe just a few additions away. A good quality pick or two here or there could go really a long way for this team in terms of being a pretty solid matchup going forward. In the three spot, we have the Dallas Mavericks, who will have a 19% chance at the top pick tonight. Overall, Dallas has won 59% of their matchups, which is the most of any team drafting in the top six, in the top six this year, and have won a total of 34 matchups. They've only used one first round pick on Chris Dunn, which was last year, and they have one playoff appearance under their belt to go along with a second place finish in the inaugural 2015 season. This is a really good team who is clearly hoping to finish in the top two tonight and come away with a premium draft prospect to build around. But this is such a good team that even if they don't get in the top two, they're still going to get a good player and could add a couple pieces here or there in free agency and clearly push for a title next year. In the four spot, we got the San Antonio Spurs, who will have a 14% chance at the top pick. In total, the Spurs have won 34% of their matchups. That's 20 wins, and have used one first-round pick on Emmanuel Mudiay. Clearly, the Spurs are hoping for a better return on their investment, as Mudiay has yet to deliver on the type of hope that many had for him entering the NBA. The Spurs actually traded their first-round pick to the Bucks last year and have yet to make the playoffs. In the five spot, we have the Bulls, who will have a 9% chance at the top pick. The Bulls have won 50% of their matchups, so they're clearly a decent team. They're a few pieces away, much like the Raptors, from being a potential contender. They've used first-round picks on Willie Cauley-Stein and Jaylen Brown and have actually made the playoffs one time in the past 3 seasons. And in the final spot, the sixth hole, we have the Charlotte Hornets with a 4% chance. Obviously not great odds, but this is a really good team who nearly made the playoffs last year. They've won 40% of their matchups and have a pretty good young core to build around. They've used first-round picks on Karl-Anthony Towns, which was a huge addition, and Buddy Hield last year, but have yet to make the playoffs. This is just such a good team that if they get a great pick tonight or a few players in free agency, they're going to be right there in the mix next year from what I can see. Before we start the lottery, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Warriors, who I singled out last year for not winning a single game since we founded the league a few years ago. But they managed to turn things around last year so quickly. They won 11 games and actually finished fourth in the league. They were right there in the mix to push to make it to the finals. So I mean, that's just a phenomenal turnaround for a team. It's hard, you don't really see that often. So shout out to them for an amazing 2016 season. All right, let's get right to it. The drama here is at an all-time high. So let's see how this plays out. All right, and the sixth pick in the 2017 NBA draft will be made by the Dallas Mavericks. Oh, Tom. Tom is going to be devastated by this. I mean, he was hoping to be in the top two. It couldn't possibly be worse for the Mavericks. They do have 3 first-round picks this year, so hopefully things will fall their way. But this is a tough one for Dallas, no question about it. In the 5 spot, we will have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Are you kidding? This is unbelievable. Sorry, you got to give me a second here. I can't believe it. 2 of the top 3 teams with the best odds will be drafting in the 5 and 6 spot. It's just hard to wrap your head around. It really is. I'm still going to need a minute here. I'm sorry. All right. In the number 4 spot, we have the Bulls, who this is already a huge victory for the Bulls to be in the 4 spot. They'll move up 1 spot from their initial slotting. So good position, no question. The number 3 pick will be made by the Charlotte Hornets. Unbelievable 4% chance at winning this thing, and they somehow work their way up to the 3rd spot. They're going to get a great player, and they're a great team already. So this is a really surprising turn of events, no question about it. And in the 2 spot, which means the number 1 overall pick will be made by the San Antonio Spurs. Will get the top spot. The Raptors draft number 2. I really don't know what to say other than I was not expecting these results. The Cavs have actually had a tough go of things 2 years ago in the lottery when they had really great odds, and I think they finished like 5th also in that draft, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a stunner. There's no question about it. This is a stunner. I'll have this posted online shortly, but wow. All right, good luck to everybody this season.